10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Bolts and liftoff.
Roger, clock is started. There's the roll program.
Roger, roll.
Plus 10 seconds.
Okay, your roll is completed.
Roger, roll complete.
There goes the pitch.
Roger, pitch. You're on your way, Molly Brown.
Oh, man.
Okay, I'm separating from the spacecraft.
Okay, you're separating from the spacecraft at this time, all right.
Okay, my feet are out.
Okay, your feet are out.
I think I'm dragging a little bit, so I don't want to fire the gun yet.
Yeah, don't get over.
Okay, I'm out.
Okay, he's out. He's float free.
Okay, I put a little roll in, took it right out.
Very good.
Am I in your view, Jimbo?
Well, you know, I can't see it, I'm afraid.
Don't sweat it, I'll come over to you.
Whoops, there goes your glove. Well, we just let it go.
All right. Okay, I rolled off and I'm rolling to the right now. Under my own influence. There goes a... Looks like a thermal glove, Jim.
It is, Ed.
All right. Now I've come above the spacecraft. And I'm coming back down now. I'm under my own control. Really looks funny out there. See my glove out there, Jim?
Does it?
Yeah. Okay, I better get over. Okay, I'm coming over.
Okay, stand by.
You see me yet?
Oh, he sure does.
Huh?
Oh, there you are. Look at the camera on now. Okay. Just a second. You're right in front, Ed. You look beautiful.
I feel like $1 million. I will pitch up. And y'all laugh. I'm coming back to you. Are you reading me, Capcom?
Okay, we're going to box now. Okay, Ed, they're receiving you.
Okay,
Tell them what you think.
that's right. Capcom, it's very easy to maneuver with the gun. The only problem I have is I haven't got enough fuel. I've exhausted the fuel now, but I was able to maneuver myself out front of the spacecraft back. I maneuvered right up back on the back of the adapter. Just above Jim, came back into his view. The only thing I wish is I had more. This is the greatest experience. It's just tremendous.
Yes, wow.
Right.
I'm putting right down your gun now. All right.
Let me take a close-up picture there. Oh, you smeared up my windshield, you dirty dog. Yeah. You see how it's all smeared up there?
Yeah.
It looks like there's a coating on the outside and you've rubbed it off. That's exactly what you've done.
Gemini 4, Houston Capcom. Gemini 4, Houston Capcom.
Right now, the spacecraft rates are up about 1 degree per second in pitch and yaw and about a half degree per second in roll.
I'm not satisfied with the picture that I've got yet.
Okay.
Break in, Gus. Houston Capcom.
Man, I don't even know exactly where we are, but it looks like we're about over Texas again.
Gemini 4, Houston Capcom.
As a matter of fact, you know, that looks like Houston down below us.
Gemini 4, Houston Capcom.
Right? Hey, Gus, I don't know if you read, but we're right over Houston. See what flight director's got to say.
The flight director says get back in.
This is Jim. What? Got any message for us?
Gemini 4, get back in.
Okay. I don't know. We're coming over to the west end. They want you to come back in now.
Roger, we've been trying to talk to you for a while here.
No, back in. Come on. We still got 3.5 more days to go, buddy. I'm coming. Okay.
Say again?
Is it?
92-1 is the orbit you have a go for.
Yeah, I just gave you.
Oh, okay. You were cutting out and I couldn't read you very well.
Oh, okay.
The flight director would like to speak to you for just a moment.
Good morning, Gordo.
Yes, how are you?
How does it feel for the United States to be the new record holder?
At last, huh?
Roger. Congratulations.
I'd like to add one thing in there just for your information. When we first powered up this morning, after having been drifting for quite a while, all the thrusters were exceedingly sluggish, and we saw great globs of liquid coming out of them drifting by us when we were firing them in pulse mode.
Roger. That's interesting, isn't it?
And I went to direct to see if we could clear them out, and it did seem to, and we were getting big globules of liquid going by us, but they cleared out.
Okay. We were wondering about a drop in fuel here, and that might have been where we lost some of it.
It could be. Well, we, in doing that last tracking experiment, we were having great difficulty getting on the radar test there. We were having quite a bit of trouble holding our attitude, and finally we were having to go to direct to get the platform aligned, and then we were fiddling around trying to find which thruster it was giving us the problem.
Roger.
Yeah, well, another thing is we do get these tumbling rates pretty high out of the venting hydrogen. So when we first started aligning the platform, we apparently had intermittent operation on number 7, and we'd attribute the fact that we'd start drifting off to the fact that the hydrogen tank was venting. And then we finally got smart after a while and decided to look at something.
Roger.
Now, Gemini 5 will long be remembered and long honored for the courage of the crew and the competence of the team on the ground and the vision of all who dared conceive this great enterprise. We can only hope that your achievement will encourage all other nations to accept more fully what great accomplishments can be wrought by cooperating together in these new realms of infinity. So I just want to say, God bless you both. We're glad you're back. We shall be everlastingly proud of you, and we are so thankful for all the blessings that are ours.
Five, four, three, two, one, zero. Ignition.
Engine start, we have a liftoff.
We're on our way, Frank. Yep.
Gemini 7, Houston, do you still read us? Sorry to disturb your lunch, but we have a message here we think you'd be interested in. We're coming up on a special time here, about 5 seconds. Mark, you have just exceeded the world's manned space flight endurance record.
Gemini 7 and 6, would you continue with the description of your station keeping?
10 feet above and to the left of 7. We're just flying nose to nose, approximately 15 feet apart.
Roger.
We can very clearly see the horizon scanners operating.
Roger, Jim. Gemini 7, are you able to see in the windows of 6 very easily and vice versa?
Roger, 7 here.
The performance of both of the spacecrafts in this flight has been superb. I've used that word before, but it's the absolute truth. In particular, I'd like to single out the performance of the fuel cells on spacecraft 7. It was just a real pleasure to have worked with those cells, because they got us all the power and the support we needed to keep those men up there for as long as we did. Certainly the performance of the systems on spacecraft 6, the radar and the computer and its platform, and the way in which the men used them was just fabulous.
I don't think I have any words that could really express the feelings that I have today about this particular mission, with the tremendous feeling that there is of first relief and the feeling that we really do have 2 men back, having been 14 days in that spacecraft and in good condition. And they really look at the present time to be in very, very good condition, even beyond what we could have hoped.
Is he docked?
Negative, he's not docked yet. Okay, Gemini 8, we have TM solid. You're looking good on the ground. Go ahead and dock. Okay, we're going to go on now. I think we're going to hold off on this SPC thing until he does get docked.
Okay, go ahead with your memory compare.
Roger.
Let's know what you get out of that.
Okay, we have a rigid light hitting stop rigid now.
Say again.
Okay, Gemini 8, it looks good here from the ground. We're showing cone rigid. Everything looks good from the docking. Okay, we're going to cycle our stop arm switch now. Roger. With light, we are down. Back on. Everything looks good. And he's really a smoothie. Oh, Roger. Hey, congratulations. This is real good. Okay, just for your information, the Gina was very stable, and at the present time we're having no noticeable oscillations at all. Roger, copy, Gina, very stable and no noticeable oscillations. Very good. Gemini 8, CSQ Capcom, contact Audi Reed. We got serious problems here with the forward coupling end over end, but we're disengaged from the Gina. Okay, we got your spacecraft 3 indication here. Say again. We're showing you spacecraft 3. What seems to be the problem? They're rolling up and we can't turn anything off. Continually increasing in a left roll. Roger.
CSQ flight.
Go ahead, flight.
Did he say he could not turn the Agena off?
No, he says he is separated from the Agena and he's in a roll and he can't stop it. His rake pressure is down to 0, his own rake helium pressure.
CSQ, this is flight.
Go ahead.
Find out how much RCS fuel he has used and if he is just on one ring.
Roger. ACSQ, how much RCS have you used and are you just
just on one ring? That's right, we're on one ring, trying to save the other ring. We started with 2 rings, but now we're on 1 ring. Roger, what about the RCS usage? Okay, we're down to 1,700 pounds right now on RCSP.
Roger.
And we had about 2350 on A.
Okay, copy.
Go ahead.
8 CSQ, how you doing?
CSQ flight.
Okay, relax, everything's okay.
We did have a positioning problem where I continued to float out of the stirrups and did not have freedom of both hands for any continued length of time. This is why, let me say this, as a result, I had to work continually against a pressure suit, against the stiffness of the suit, and this work then had to be taken out through the environmental control system. About the time that I got here into the area and started working, connecting some hooks on a tether, the sun was just about to go down, and Tom, being in the front of the spacecraft, was almost in total darkness, and I was in total sunlight. And I immediately got very warm on the back, and I'll explain this in a minute, but I got extremely hot on the back, as a matter of fact, in the small of the back area. We stopped and took a rest until the sun went down, and then we continued on with some of our task of operating and donning the AMU. About this time is when my visor started fogging up. Because I had put in so much extra work in just maintaining position, I began now to overload, apparently, the capability of the chest pack.
Gemini 10, an astronaut John Young describes a propulsion system burn which pushed the spacecraft to a new world's altitude record. Young is heard describing a film shown at a post-flight conference. The date is August 1st, 1966.
Now we show us coming up on Hawaii for the first primary propulsion system burn. Mike threw the switch, and a minute and 24 seconds later, boy, it was really something. We had a -1 G, and we were driven forward in the cockpit, and for 11 seconds, we got a tremendous thrill. The colors are just beautiful. And here we are, on our way to apogee, and to a new world's altitude record. And I might say that it was set incidental to doing our job, of which I'm extremely proud.
In the following, Gemini 10 astronaut Michael Collins comments on extravehicular activity during his flight. The comment was made during a post-flight conference in Houston, August 1, 1966.
A considerable portion of your attention must be devoted to holding your body in a position which is temporarily advantageous for the type of work you're doing in. And I think this is the basic problem in EVA. Without some sort of handholds or restraining devices, a large percentage of the astronaut's time is going to be devoted to torquing his body around until it's in the proper position to do some useful work. And in this process of torquing your body around, you usually find that you overshoot and bounce back, and you sort of sway back and forth and rotate around in the proximity of your job site, but it's extremely difficult to damp out all emotions and to hold yourself motionless. Really, I found I was never absolutely motionless in trying to perform a task, that I was constantly moving back and forth in front of and across the particular job site that I was interested in.
Following is a statement by NASA's Deputy Administrator Dr. Robert Siemens. He speaks of accomplishments during the Gemini flights, and particularly of the just concluded Gemini 10 mission. The comments were made August 1, 1966.
Gemini has done much more to open the way to the moon than we could have hoped for 5 years ago, and has given this country an operational spacecraft important to national defense.